You're about to listen to an excerpt of Secret City Geek Lab, Orange County's best in geek news and pop culture features, broadcasting live every Sunday at 3 p.m. on 89.5 FM in Anaheim or online at ktstfmanaheim.com. Okay, and now we're going to go over the movie, an amazing movie from the Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival. It's called Twinsters. It's a modern-day true story based on the film Parent Trap, or it seems that way. We follow the life of Samantha Futerman as she finds out at the age of 25 that she has a twin sister that lives in London but was raised in France. We saw Twinsters at the Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival. It runs 90 minutes. It's directed by Samantha Futerman and Ryan Miyamoto. And here's a trailer to Twinsters. We had the pleasure of interviewing some of the filmmakers involved in Twinsters. Coming up first is executive producer Jenna Ushkowitz, who you may know from the television show Glee. And here's that interview. Okay, I'm with Jenna Ushkowitz?
Jenna Ushkowitz. Yeah.
Now you're the executive producer of Twinsters. How did you get involved in the project?
I grew up with Sam. We were both, kid actors on the East Coast. And then when this happened to her, I found out, Sam said, I'd love to sit down and, have coffee with you. We hadn't really spoken in years. And, we sort of reconnected, and she told me this crazy story, and I said, what can I do to help? And so I came on as a producer, and I just was, thrilled to tell this story, thrilled to have this out in the world so people knew that this crazy thing has happened, and anything is possible.
And how did you help pull the film together?
As executive producers, obviously you're investors in it as well, but also it was sort of a collaboration because, the awareness, I think, is, I have a strong sort of voice in social media, so it was definitely getting the word out, helping, raise the funds on Kickstarter, and then as well as just sort of making connections and whatever was needed for the time, because they're first-time filmmakers, so we were all learning.
Now, stories like this have kind of been told in books and films and television, like the Parent Trap.
Yeah. This is the real-life Parent Trap.
Yeah, what surprised you? Something that maybe is not told in those stories?
The fact that it's real. This is the real-life Parent Trap. Also it's not so sugar-coated happy ending where family, parents end up together. This is a real story where the outcome was not as expected. So it sort of prepares you for this, jolt of real life.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jenna. And we also had a chance to interview the two directors and one of the subjects of Twinsters. We talked to Samantha Futerman and Ryan Miyamoto. I'm with Sam Futerman, and Ryan Miyamoto.
Yes.
And you two are the directors of Twinsters, and Samantha, you're one of the subjects of Twinsters. What is the movie about?
The movie is about identical twin sisters separated at birth and reunited via social media. So basically I got a Facebook message one day from a French girl who lived in London, who said, "Hey, I saw you on YouTube and you look like me. We were born on the same day. What do you think?" And then our movie is everything that ensued after.
So I would imagine that once you decided to make the movie, that you had to pull things pretty quickly together.
Oh yeah, definitely. What did he say?
Well, Ryan is actually the director of photography as well, and that's how he started on the project. And then, through all the craziness when I was, finding my twin sister, Ryan eventually just took on directorial roles when it happened that way. But it did happen really quickly. Ryan was introduced to us through a friend. We had a Skype interview, and a week later he was coming out to LA to shoot it.
And was there a lot of guerrilla filmmaking that had to occur at that point?
Definitely a lot of guerrilla filmmaking. We never knew what was going to happen next. We didn't really plan the first parts of it, so we had to be really mobile. Had to change at a given second. So
it's not like you could script it out.
No, it's definitely not scripted at all.
And one thing is when I watch my daughter perform on stage, I'm usually filming it, and I'm finding myself watching the experience behind the camera and missing the moments. Was that a challenge for you? Excuse me. Was that a challenge for you to not only be a subject of it, but to have to direct it as well?
Yes, I think so. But luckily, with Ryan and Jeff and Kanoa and everybody having such an amazing team, like I knew they would do it anyway, and that's exactly what Ryan did. He's like, well, I need to step up and take over directing while we're filming this, and he did. He did
Did
that.
you find it difficult to not be hindered by the filmmaking process and to be able to experience it as you?
I mean, you can't really separate the two because it's part of the story or part of our journey was also filmmaking. So it was actually a great and positive aspect because we were constantly asking ourselves questions about what was going on that I don't think if we weren't making a documentary we wouldn't be doing. Like, how am I feeling at this moment? How is this affecting my life? And I was able to reflect on that, and my sister was able to reflect on it, and I don't think we would have had that experience otherwise.
So you think a lot deeper about things.
Exactly, yeah.
So when it's all said and done, what do you hope audiences walk away with Twinsters?
I hope that everyone walks away with the idea that family has no boundary and that you can choose to accept anyone into your life. Because, I mean, now in the age we live in, everyone's families are reconstructed, and that's, I mean, there's no idea of a mom, dad, older brother, younger sister, dog, and like a Chevy in the driveway anymore, and I just want everyone to be positive, and no matter what the circumstances were at one point, to know that they can change and be positive as any time in your life.
So how can people learn more about Twinsters?
They can visit us on Facebook, Twinsters Movie, or you can follow my sister or myself on Twitter, Sam Futerman, or Anais F. Bordier. Or Ryan Miyamoto Films as well. We're very social media based, as our story would say.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So let's talk about Twinsters. Now, Twinsters is an amazing documentary. It has everything you want from a documentary, which is a compelling story, interesting subjects, and something to learn. So the compelling story. Immediately, Samantha pulled her friends together to document the events that were about to be unfolded in this situation. I mean, she just learned that she had a twin sister, or possibly a twin sister, and had the foresight to say, okay, let's document everything. The adventure includes an investigation to find out what happened, then including the meeting for the first time with her sister Anais for her fashion show in London, and then the reaction of close friends and families when the two twins appear together for the first time. Their reactions are just classic. That's the reason you want to see this movie. But beyond that, the movie features two very interesting subjects in both Samantha and Anais. They're both irresistible people. Their similarities in personality are fascinating, and their differences in upbringing are intriguing. The movie is a pure joy to watch, and as a fly on the wall, you have a smile on your face from the beginning to end of this film. And there's a lot to learn too. As a father of a adopted daughter from Korea, had a lot to relate to in this movie. But even if you haven't adopted, this is a great movie about the subject of international adoption. When it came to growing up in a family that is not your ethnicity, Samantha and Anais both experienced different experiences coping with looking different from their family. Samantha had brothers who had her back, but Anais was an only child to a French couple. It was this experience that led to Samantha and her best friend Jenna Ushkowitz to start Kindred Adoption. Kindred Adoption is an organization for adopted children to find the resources they need to make the most of their situation in life, and especially what life has given to them. Twinsters is a fantastic story as well as a fantastic documentary. To learn more about the film, go to facebook.com/TwinstersMovie, and we give Twinsters an 8 out of 10 stars. Don't miss your favorite movie reviews and interviews. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, and be sure to like and comment about this excerpt. Enjoy.